How's it going, buddy?
Fucking excellent. Fucking here on a Friday night, fucking doing the show. You know?
Great, man. I saw your show with Boris. That was really good. Boris is a friend of mine. He works really hard. He's an upcoming artist in the industry.
Definitely. He's definitely a hard worker, and I see him on his grind. And I seen he just commented on when I posted we're doing this interview right here. So
Yeah,
shout out
yeah,
shout out to him.
yeah. Shout outs to Boris. He supports me, and there's a lot of local talent coming up. So I think that's dope what you're doing, man. I like this a lot. Thanks for having me on.
Dope. So you're from Hamilton?
Yeah, my name's Kevin or K Triggs is what I go by. I'm from
Yeah.
Hamilton, Ontario. You can check me out. KTriggs.ca is the place. I like that shirt too. I'm gonna have to get one of those.
Dope. Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely just looking at doing a new order. So I'm gonna be having some new ones soon. Fucking
Dope.
getting fucking like it's definitely and like yeah like me like for like when other artists have show merch I'll rock that on the show as well,
Dope, dope.
so yeah,
Yeah,
so I encourage all artists to get merch because like um yeah like getting some money from the streams is okay, but like your merch is like hand to hand, like people are like willing to spend like more money, and like they're
like literally I'm in a school course right now at a school in Toronto, and like there's a marketing course, and that's what we're all talking about, like the music industry. You know what I mean? People don't make that much money off streams. People make more money off merchandise and shows and shit. So that's a big thing for me. Like I do a lot of shows, but I haven't been doing shows since COVID. But hopefully, when I have some shows, you can come out and check it out. We always have a good time. The last show
definitely.
I did was last year in October.
Definitely. Like, what was your most memorable show? Like, what?
Definitely the one that we did last year in October at Zen Lounge in Hamilton, because it was like right during COVID. It was like October 1st. It was a great show, and I had so much fun. And there was a lot of different artists there, and I sold out, which was super cool. It was the first time I ever sold out a venue for myself.
Uh,
And
talk to talk to
yeah,
him.
it was great. I was super excited. Myself performed. LT the Monk performed. There was some good. Caesar performed. He's an artist that's out of the city. Lucky performed. He's an artist from here in
Yeah,
Hamilton.
yeah, yeah.
Smoothie Lou performed. He's from here in Hamilton. We had a lot of local guys on that stage, which I thought was the best part. That's what I love to do. I love to include other artists. You know what I mean? Like Boris is actually on my album. He's one of the two features. There's only two features on my whole album, and I had Boris jump on the track called Demons because he's a demon. He really attacks the track, and I think he did a really good job.
So like how did this collaboration come about? How did you guys meet?
Yeah, actually, well, me and Boris have actually been connected since a little further back before I even started really rapping and like putting out music. And I was always watching him. We were doing kind of freestyling, both of us, posting stuff on it, Facebook. And then in the beginning of 2021, so this year, Boris was part of my Freedom Speech Cypher, which had Boris, it had Wes Gray, Buddha, Buza, and Vinny A all in it. And it was produced by DJ Grind Abrasion. These are all local artists in the city of Hamilton. And I wanted to like kind of preach and show the idea of community and that we're building a real culture here with what we do in Hamilton in terms of hip hop. And so Boris actually, during that like video shoot, we're sitting there in my apartment and we're just kicking it, and me and him are just chatting. And I'm like, yo, let me show you this beat. So I showed him the beat for Demons, and he was like, yo, I can get down with that. And I was like, I thought so. I told him, I was like, yo, don't hold back. And he really didn't. He really took it aggressively, and the way his delivery is super sharp. Now, I really like how he took that track. It complements what I did very well.
Dope. It's definitely like working together with like local people is like a very important thing for like especially like prior to COVID, because like I've actually heard this like myself when I was performing, and like I'd invite people to come out, and they ask me who was on the bill, and if they didn't know anybody, they're like, oh, okay, like I might show up. But then like
Yeah,
if it was one of my friends that they already knew I was performing, but they already knew like somebody else they knew was performing, like
yeah,
the odds would just go up. They'd be like, oh, so and so's performing too, like so
yeah.
like if people know two people that are performing on a show, like the odds go up like huge, like like.
Exactly. And like that's the thing is I always try to include like people in the city, local artists that are coming up, especially like because people kind of underestimate our hip hop scene. Shout outs to everybody who came here from my page, IQ, Carissa, you know what it is, all y'all out there. Shouts out to all y'all for watching. Make sure you follow Eddie. This guy's doing great things. I appreciate you for having me on. And like I said, I'm all about, like I say, community over competition because at the end of the day, we all have a similar goal, which is to make it and make our name known in the industry. And it's all about entertainment. So, like, you're better off working together than working against each other. You know what I mean? To some degree.
For sure. That's what like this whole show is about. Like I've seen people like that I've had on like around the same time period. Meet through my show and then start doing tracks. So,
and that's great.
Yeah, that's like that's a super dope thing. I'm like, yo, just give me a shout out in the intro,
Well, and that's so dope because like I was doing this thing called the Freedom Freestyle, and a lot of these guys in the local artists have been a part of it. And it's kind of like a challenge where they show down and they freestyle their best bars off the top, and that was happening for the last like almost year or so. And we've got to the finale now. So the finale is Park from CC. Is LT the Monk versus Kid Lifted as well. And then versus Jalen Rose. So there's 3 artists all from Hamilton. They're all going to compete for the finale. I haven't announced the date of the finale yet because everybody's busy. But the idea of this was to bring artists together, and a lot of these guys have now worked together, and some of them were even in my shows. So it shows like even Jay Rose. He's a Hamilton artist. He was in the Freedom Freestyle, and then he performed at the Underground Vibes, just like an impromptu freestyle. Because he came to attend. A lot of the people who came out to those shows were artists that came to support. So there's a big support here in Hamilton in the local scene, which is, I think that's amazing.
That's dope. That's dope. I hear you shouting a lot of people out. How are you with like some like the veterans in Hamilton, like Ross Burns, the High Cats. Detox, like. Man, these guys are like guys that like put down like the foundation of like Hamilton hip hop and like every generation like helps the next, like no matter how you look at it, like their moves kind of like so like yeah.
Like I do know who all those cats are that you just named. I'm not as close with them, but someone I do chat with a lot is Jay Steels. Jay Steels, the odd fella, runs the Live and Direct. Him and Iron Mike, I've been working with them since 2018. Shout out to DJ Infamous, also DJ Infamous and John Kitchen, at Soul Kitchen Radio. Those guys are out of Hamilton and they do great work. They're some older heads. I got to do a freestyle on their radio station. It was super fun. One of my favorite experiences, because I love to freestyle. It's a big part of my craft as an artist in general. So that was just a super cool experience to like hang out with some older heads and like take in the moment and just enjoy myself. And Fins is another guy that I've connected with over the years. Yeah, shout out Fins. There's lots of guys that I got respect for in the city. There's lots of guys working hard that have been around for a while. I'm kind of new. I started doing this in 2018, so I'm like one of the newer guys on the scene.
Yeah, I was mentioning that because when I was getting ready for this interview and I was in the washroom and I was looking, I was like, oh shit, like I got a couple more gray hairs. I might got a couple more gray hairs going in, but it's like,
Yeah, well, like I hope you enjoyed when you listen to the album too. Like, it comes out next week, so I'm super excited, and right now I'm really hyped up for what's to come.
For sure, it's like from what I got from the listen, it sounds like you have a lot of like ambition. And like it's like because it's like a young guy with a plan, almost and that's awesome. It's awesome to hear because like that's what I took away from when I was listening to your music that you sent me. I was like, this is a young guy with a plan with a lot of ambition, and like he's trying different flows and he's trying different things, and I appreciate the creativity.
Thank you. And that's the big thing is like, show the versatility, but also tell a story. And that's what I'm all about, really telling a story. I take my inspiration from guys like Pac and guys like Nas. So, all about telling a story with my rhymes. And I feel like if you don't represent the times you live in, then what are you representing really? Like I could rap about money and drugs and women, but like I don't see a value in any of that. I want to talk about the things that are important.
It's like when like a true good storyteller like tells like that story. It's like it gives you it gives you chills. I'm not sure if you're familiar for the Jay-Z and Scarface and Beanie. This can't be life.
Yeah,
Like
man, I
like
definitely. I
like
follow Jay-Z.
that Scarface. Like I had it in my headphones the other day, and that
Yeah.
Scarface verse, man. Like I was like, holy fuck,
You know what's
man.
funny is a lot of people don't know is Jay-Z, DMX, and Nas used to have a rap group called Original Flavor. A lot of people don't know that, and it's actually unbelievable how good they were back in the day.
You know, the original flavor shit is like Irv Gotti and shit like that.
Yeah, yeah, the Original Flavor shit is unbelievable, and like I follow Jay-Z's career closely because he's definitely one of my favorites in the modern era. Him and like J. Cole, but I just I've been trying to focus squarely on this album because I wanted to create like a cohesive sound that really spoke to my identity as an artist and like what I'm all about.
For sure, for sure. You gotta speak to the people like me. Like I got to a point where like when I was just doing music, like I was just like prior to these, and I was always given like a serious side, but like
Yeah.
I'd always be out places and like making people laugh. So like people would be like, "Yo, like why don't you give them some of that?" And then when when I started giving them some of that too, and like the serious talk and kind of like just give them like the all around me, like
Yeah.
like people just gravitated to me. They're like, "Oh my god, man! Like fucking this guy is fucking dope." Like fucking,
Well, people,
the only difference I made was just I just showed more sides of me, you
well, and
know.
that's the thing. People want to be part of the experience and they want to see you grow and progress as an artist, right? Like there's lots of people, who support me and what I do, and I'm so grateful for that. And like everyone, like takes it in a way. It's like, if everybody doesn't like your music, whatever. At least I have some people that like my music and follow what I do, and I appreciate that, and I'm grateful for that, for what I do have. I'm gonna get to that level one day where I get further than I am now, but I'm never satisfied. But I try to stay remembering that, I have come a long way in the last 2 years. And this album is going to be a great example of that because I stepped up the quality, the production, the vocals, the lyrics, every aspect that I could step up, I stepped up on this album.
So like when was that moment and like what was going on with your life when you first realized you're like, oh shit, people fuck with me and they're actually like listening to my music and like and they're vibing out to this
That's a really, that's a,
like when was that and like what was happening in your life?
yeah. No, that's a good question because I actually could give you an answer to that. So like I was actually like living in the West End of Hamilton and I had just made my merchandise. So I came out with the first 50 orders last year in like June or July. And they came to my house and I got them earlier than expected. So I was kind of waiting on them. I was ambitious, I was trying to get them sold. And within a week I had all of them gone. And that's kind of the moment when
Yeah.
I knew, okay, if I was able to sell 50 shirts for profit and people bought these shirts off me, then obviously people fuck with me and they want to see me succeed. Like at that point, like I wasn't totally sure, but once that happened, which was like a year ago, I knew that I had to keep pushing. I have to keep pushing and I have to keep getting better. If the people that support me are only going to support me more as I continue and progress and continue to get better.
Right. It's like for me like a lot of shit is now I'm to the point I'm 36. So like if this shit never becomes super successful for me, like I have like a resume that like I am proud of.
That's right. That's the most important thing.
Like I've had fun during the way, and I realized like this is part of my life. This is what I like to do, and like I like no matter what, no matter if this success comes or not, like that right there is the key thing to be like, yo, I'm proud of the stuff I've done. Like I got a good resume, and I had fun along the way.
Well, and that's the big thing, man. Like a lot of people spend like a whole bunch of time trying to make money, but at the end of the day, you're only happy if you do something that makes you happy.
For
No
sure.
matter how much, I know that firsthand. Like I had a job before that I made a lot more money than I do now making music and doing events and stuff, especially with COVID. But you know what? I'm way happier because I'm doing something that I love and I'm doing something that I'm passionate about, and I know I'm gonna make it somewhere because I keep pushing and I keep improving, and every day I get better. Like I have songs ready for the rest of the year after this album. I have features with artists. I have a song I wrote like literally this morning. I already got a song. Like I'm constantly working on stuff. Couple weeks after my album, I'm dropping a song for the culture of Hamilton, for the culture, for the 905 hip hop. So if you're a hip hop artist and you're watching this, you better be ready for that.
Yeah,
'Cause I'm looking at all of them.
so like I've been out in Hamilton a lot, but like I want to know your opinion.
Yeah.
Where is the best place to go get food in Hamilton?
Bonanza's Bakery right beside the jail. Like the jail on Barton there, Barton Jail right beside the Food Basics and shit. It's just off Murray Street, yo. That place, I used to get like sandwiches there for like $2.50. They made it up the price now, but like I remember as a kid I used to go there every day for lunch because like Bonanza's Bakery is the shit.
Okay, okay. I'm a big fan of the fish and chips, the Hutches.
Yeah, oh for sure. Hutch's is a great spot, you know. Hutch's is a great spot. You know, there's some like Lulu Shawarma is another really good spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's some good spots in Hamilton for food, especially depending on what you like. Like I like La Luna too. La Luna's a great spot up on Queen there, for Mediterranean food. You know, it depends what you like. You know.
Yeah, I have to check that one out.
Yeah, definitely. If you like Mediterranean, you should definitely check it out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the kind of guy like for food, like
Yeah.
I might as well try the shit, and if I don't like it, I just won't eat it no more.
Exactly.
You know?
Like yo, I was always kind of skeptical about seafood. Like not seafood, but sushi. I was always
Love
kind of
sushi.
skeptical
I love
about
sushi.
sushi. And I didn't really like it. But then my friends, they brought me to like Sapporo's or wherever, which is right downtown, kind of near where I live. And
Yeah,
I'm chilling there, and they're all like, "Yo, just like try the seafood, try the Sapporo's." And like, damn, some of that is really good. Some of it I don't like, but some of it is really good. Like they
yeah,
just ordered like a bunch of different plates, and like I thought that
yeah,
was cool.
for sure.
But like this was like maybe 2 years ago. You know what I mean? I didn't always like sushi.
Yeah, for sure. Like me, for sushi, like my buddy told me, he's like, hey, just come with me, like the place had a buffet. So like, if you don't like the sushi, you can eat other food.
Yeah, exactly. There was other shit too. It wasn't just sushi.
I was like, all right. So then he ordered like the same thing. He just ordered like a fucking like a table full of fucking sushi, and we sat there and ate. And I was like, yo, this shit is boss.
Well, and that's right. Like you kind of don't know until you try it, right? And those are the kind of same things. Is like I didn't really work with a lot of artists up until the last year or so. And
Sure.
in the last year, I've probably done like 7 features with more than one artist in the last little while. Like just I've been busy. Like I got 3 features alone coming out on my own that I got artists on that are in the vault ready to go for after the album. And then I have like 3 features that I've done for other artists that are coming. It's like 6 other songs aside from my album.
That's fire. That's fire. So
Yeah, I'm
like
really excited.
when the world kind of like really like opens back up and we can start doing normal shit again. What are your main things you want to do?
I'm gonna do shows, man. I want to do shows and get back on stage. I love being on stage. It's a big part of what I'm all about as an artist. The energy, like in the moment there. And I want to get all the guys that I've been working with recently that I haven't done shows with on shows. And like it's harder to do that, you know, like just connect with people, network. It's much easier to do that outside of COVID. You know, and that's my big thing.
What is the longest period of time you actually been on stage? Like your longest set?
Like 30 minutes. And even that's too much. I like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Like even at my own show, I only did 20 minutes. Because like it's just there's a limit to how much people want to listen to.
Oh,
Unless
sure.
they're there specifically to see you, like for an album release party or whatever, something like that's a little different. But a regular show, 25 minutes, 20 minutes the most. Unless I don't have a band, you know what I mean? So for me, it's a little bit different.
Yeah. I remember one time we were this like in like a spot it was in the country and like the sun was beaming right on us. We were there for 45 minutes and I was like, yeah, this shit is too
Yeah.
much. Like
Well, that's what I mean.
I literally had to put the mic down at one point and like run and grab water because like I was like,
That's what I mean.
I'm going to die right now.
That's what I'm saying. There's a line also about the audience too. How long does the audience want to listen to the same guy for 45 minutes straight? Not unless they're there to see that guy. So like if 80% of your audience is there to see other guys or 50%, whatever it is, you should keep it brief because then it keeps switching up. So there's new content. People are like, oh, I didn't hear this guy. I don't know who this guy is. Let me listen. Especially because like this.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
like it's different for club performances and just like festivals and kind of shit like that. Like things that go like
Yes, sir.
all day. Like for club stuff, like man, like 10, 15 minutes, like 15 minutes might be too much, you know. But like for festival kind of shit, where like people are just walking around doing shit, like people can like perform for like an hour.
Yeah, well, it's like a festival's a little different, but like think about it, in a club, it's like 10, 15 minutes is a lot. Think about that. A song is like 3 minutes max.
Yeah,
So that's still 5 songs. You know what I mean? Like it's people look at it like it's a bad thing to do 15 minutes, but like that seems average and relatively reasonable considering your audience. You don't want to make your audience sit there and go, okay, when's this guy gonna fucking be done?
right,
My, like,
right. And like so like when you're performing, like do you talk to the crowd?
oh yeah, man, I'm all about the call and response, you know? Like one of my favorite things, like when I say Hamilton, y'all say hip hop. Or when I say K, y'all say Triggs. I'm a big call and response guy because I think that's a part of hip hop. And you know, like, getting the crowd involved is probably like my biggest thing as an artist. You know, stage presence, especially when you're an individual, has to come down to how big you make yourself. I think as an artist, I'm pretty good at that. You probably haven't seen me perform, but anyone who has can probably vouch for that. But again, there's always room to improve. You know, like sometimes I feel like I rush a little bit when I'm on stage, and I rap too fast, or I rap too loud. So like there's always ways you can improve on your craft.
Sure.
But I think live shows are kind of overlooked. People think that recording in the studio is so important. It is. It's so important, but it's not. Like being good at a live show is just as important as recording in the studio.
Yeah, it's there actually becomes a point, no matter how well you record the song, like if you perform the song enough times and you rehearse the song enough times, you can actually do it better live, no matter how good you did it, like fucking record it, because you study this song, you perform it so many different times, you see how the crowd reacts when you do it different ways, you know, like.
It's that too, but it's also that people want to be part of the experience. Sure, they can upload your stuff on Spotify or iTunes. When they come to a show and they see you perform and they see you do shit that's like in the moment, they're like, oh my goodness, this is not what they'll remember that in their head. Well, oh, that song resonates with me because I heard that song and I experienced that song on stage. Like I remember I watched Lenny Kravitz perform, and Lenny Kravitz sings "American Woman." Like he's not the original singer, but he did. Yeah. He has his own version. And literally, when he was on stage, that was like basically the main song everybody was listening to when he was playing "American Woman" because it resonates with people. It's an old school song and it's a popular song. You know, so the way I look at it is, when it comes to being on stage, that's just as important as honing your craft in the studio.
For sure. You gotta get that good quality H2O in here, you know?
Yeah, oh, for sure. Drink more water.
Water is the key to life.
Water is the nectar of the gods.
Yeah, for sure. So like, I'm definitely because like there is a lot of younger guys like you seem very like mature for being a younger guy, and because like you're aware of like a lot of the shit that used to happen. Even when I was a younger guy, there's a lot of shit that I wasn't aware of, like that I had to fucking do, like, you know, like in this game. But like I had to learn it along the way. But like I like to see like it seems like you got really good like head on your shoulders.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Like I've worked really hard to get where I am. Small senses, but I've also been very lucky and very privileged to have some good people in my corner. You know, all the guys that are executives on my album, Nomai, Brody, and Mason, Massacre, at Sound of the North, they all, have taught me things along the way, and other people have taught me things along the way. All the people that I mentioned, all those older heads that I mentioned earlier, they've all taught me things. It's not like I've kind of got completely on my own, but it was on my own work ethic to learn these things and to put the work in to get better. Right, and that's a thing that nobody can teach you.
For sure. So, like, what was the worst, doing these shows and like learning the craft, like everybody bombs, like I bombed, like everybody bombs, what was the worst? Like, what was
So back in 2018, I went on like a little tour, kind of opening for a guy named Suspect. I did one show at Halo, was in Hamilton. Then he asked me to come out to a bunch of more shows. And literally every single show I went to, I did one in Guelph, I did one in like London, I did one in like Cambridge. Literally not one person was there to like watch me. You know what I mean? So I could perform in front of nobody, and I did my best, and I even got booed a couple times. But that's the point of it, that's part of it. You gotta learn to get past that and get over it. And try to improve and try to involve the crowd and try to make your statement, you know?
For sure.
Because that's your moment. That's your moment to make the statement. It's on
Yep.
stage. Leave a lasting memory in people's mind. And its thing is there were some people that did like my shit, and they came up to me after, and they're like, "Yo, I like that." But like in all those shows, like the majority, nobody was there to watch me. But in Hamilton, I've done shows where there's like 80 people, 100 people. You know what I mean? But like that's what I mean. You have to learn how to take the highs and the lows and roll with the punches.
Like me, looking back on it, I was kind of blessed to kind of like when I first started doing shows. There was a show promoter, James Wright. Shout out to him. Like whenever another artist would cancel on the show and like they need somebody for the spot, like last minute, he'd call me up and be like, "Yo, like you want to come out?" And like I'd be like, "Sure." And like I performed in all these different spots where like the only people that knew me was me, him, and the sound guy. Like so, I'd be performing at these spots because like if I got a good reaction at these shows, I actually knew my shit was popping because nobody knew me there.
Well, and that's kind of the thing, right? You got to see, you got to make those strides. And back in 2018, I had just started, right? So like, that's at the beginning of my like shows and beginning of making music. Now I have a lot more of a catalog. I have a lot more supporters than I used to. So when I do a show now, it's a lot more, attended. And some people take that for granted, but I don't because I see where I started. I remember performing in front of nobody. So I'm happy when there's 10 people, 5 people, 3 people. And one day there'll be 3,000 or 3 million. You know what I mean? One day we'll get there.
For me, if a show went good the whole time, that was good. But my favorite shits were like the crowd didn't respond. I didn't respond to nothing on my first song. They might have kind of like been like totally just not even paying attention to me on my second song. By the end of my set, they're fucking with me. Like those ones were like the ones that I was like, yes.
But here's the thing: but how I got on that tour was I was performing at a venue here in Hamilton, and that nobody knew me. So I was performing, and I got a last minute spot because of my buddy. And so I was doing the show on the set, and actually the guy who was running the tour came out of the back, like the main act came out with his boys out of the studio in the back, and they called me up after my set. They're like, "Yo, you did dope. Like nobody doesn't really know you, but like I like what you have going on." In that moment, I was like, "Damn." So you came out of the back, you were sitting in the studio doing whatever you were doing, and you came out here just to hear me. So that meant something to me, you know what I mean? And it's like, "Yo, if you want to open for me on my tour, you're good. Like, I'll bring you on." And I was like, "Word, okay, that's awesome." And like, I got much respect. This guy's name is Suspect, you know what I mean?
Suspect.
Yeah, shout out Suspect.
I need to get him back on the show. That's been like.
You know Suspect, eh? From Cambridge.
Yeah. I had him back on. That was back in like 2013.
Yeah, man, he's a great artist, and like I said, he had just came back from Australia and shit when I was when he came and did the Razorblade music tour, and I was opening up for him on that tour. But he's got a lot of talent, and he appreciated what I did. He was the first guy to really give me a shot to do like openers. You know what I mean? When I first started.
That's dope. That's dope. For sure. So like where can people like find all the music? If they want to get a feature. They want
for sure. Anyone, you can hit me up at K Triggs 905 on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, or you can hit me up at ktriggs.ca, which is my direct website. I'm on all streaming platforms: Spotify, iTunes, at K Triggs. That's KTRIGGS, capital K. But besides that, that's basically the majority of where you can find me. I'm on all those major platforms, and I got all my music out. I'm releasing a brand new album next week on May 20th called Mistakes. So if you hit the link in my bio, you can pre-save that. Check out some of my stuff. I really appreciate it. Thank you again so much to Eddie. I appreciate you, man, and keep doing what you're doing.
I was going to say one more thing. Do you have any questions for me?
You know what? I did have one. So, like, when did you start doing this show?
I started at the end of 2012.
Wow. So you've been doing this show for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So what you got any ideas for your like 10th year celebration anniversary kind of deal? You got something cool planned?
Not the exact date, but I'm trying to do something because like I've been numbering these I started numbering them. I've done I have like 700 videos on my channel, but I started numbering them like a little while ago, and I'm coming up on 100. I think this one will be 90 or 91.
That's awesome, man. Well,
So like,
congratulations.
so for number 100, I'm gonna do something epic.
Well, dope. Let me know too about the merch too. When you get it in, I will 100% cop a shirt. I want an Eddie TV shirt. I like the logo. I like the everything you're doing, man. Thank you so much again for having me on.
For sure, for sure. All right, you have a good night.
Thank you too, boss. Take it easy.
Yeah, yeah. AGTV.